All right, everyone. We'll get going here in just a moment. This is day 6 of our 21 days of live meditation, which is kind of crazy. So we started on Monday. Tomorrow will be the completion of week 1. So remember, this first week has been about attunement, really just attuning our awareness to our lives, to our present moment, practicing this for about 15, 20 minutes each day. And the reason it's so important is just because we often walk around so disconnected from our lives, which includes what's happening in our minds, what's happening in our bodies, our emotional landscape, even what's happening around us. It's so easy to get caught up in just a narrative of who we are, who we're supposed to be, where we're trying to get, kind of just put the head down, press the gas. And then, what happens? 10 years, 20 years go by, and it's like, where was I for any of it? So this attunement phase is just a very gentle settling back in, a meeting ourselves, befriending ourselves. And it can be sometimes a shock to the system to see some of the stuff that's arising. So if you have been noticing, like maybe it's just a sense of a lot of energy or more thoughts than usual, know that all of that is very normal with the meditation practice. It's not that the meditation is making you think more. It's just revealing a lot of what was beneath the surface, and also does sometimes start to release some energy that's been stored. And by energy, I just mean emotions that have been suppressed, thought patterns that we been not letting ourselves think. So there's a lot of opening up that starts to happen. And also you might be feeling more calm, easeful, and peaceful. And all of that is normal and welcomed as well. So today we're going to continue with some awareness of breath practice, but I'm going to give you some new structure for it. One of the things you might be noticing, whether you're a longtime practitioner or a new practitioner, is that the hard thing with the practice is not focusing itself, but it's remembering and monitoring when the mind wanders off and bringing it back. So anyone can focus, just focus on me for 1 second. Cool, you did it. So you could do that for 1 second, or you could do it for another second. You could do that with the breath, and you could do that with anything you might be attending to. The hard part is if I told you to focus on me for, 30 minutes, right? You might have it, and then the mind goes squirrel, right? So we start thinking about something else. And in the early stages of practice, it's always normal for the mind to wander, but we're not that good yet at catching the mind when it wanders. So it goes off into thinking about something else, and then 5 minutes later, we finally realize, oh, wow, I was thinking, and then we bring it back. So our goal is to reduce that period of time in meditation, and that is a sign of a meditation practice progressing. One way to help with this is to count your breaths. So it would look like inhale, exhale, 1. Inhale, exhale, 2. Now you don't have to do this with your hand or say 1, 2, or 3 after each breath. You do this in your own mind with the eyes closed, inhale, exhale. After you're fully aware for a breath, then you count 1. If you did 1, then you do it again. Fully aware for a breath, then you count 2. The reason this is helpful is it adds a little bit more structure to the practice. And now you're working toward getting to 10. So if you stop counting, it's immediate feedback that, oh, I must not be focusing on the breath. This is not a goal-oriented thing. There's no gold star if you get to 10. If you do get to 10, you just get to start back at 1. So we're just using this as helpful structure. All right, so we'll get going with this. Let's find a comfortable posture, whatever feels good for you this morning. Again, the posture can be sitting, it can be standing, it can be lying down. I'll set this up so you don't get too much Cory chest hair for your morning. It's a Sunday morning. Come on, Cory. Have some decency. And if it's comfortable to do so, you can invite your eyes to close. And we'll start by taking 1 deep breath together in through the nose and slowly out through the mouth. inviting the jaw to relax. The teeth don't need to be clenched. It's okay if the lips part slightly. I like to sometimes feel like my face is just getting heavier. And then melting that tension down through the shoulders and the neck. And then the hands and the belly. And you can do one last sweep of the body with your awareness just to see if there's any lingering tension you might be holding on to. And the goal here is just to let go of creating any tension that might be within our influence. There's some really deep stress tension we can't readily impact. It takes more time. But there may be just conditioned tensing in the body that once we see, we can go, oh, I don't need to do that. And we invite it to relax. And from this relaxed place, we can let the breath just be at its natural rhythm. Just starting by feeling the whole body breathing. What is it like to be alive? A being that is breathing. Nowhere to go, nothing to fix. No milestone you need to reach. For right now, just can you be with one breath in one moment? And when you're ready, you can begin your counting practice. If it's easier for you, you can bring your attention to one area of the breath, like the belly, the nostrils. I like to place one hand on my belly in the beginning just to feel it more vividly. And your goal is just full awareness for one breath. And if you can do it for one, you count one. If you do it for another, then count two. If you lose your place, you just come back to one. I'm just trying to get to 10. If you do, you can start back at 1. I'll give you some time in silence to practice. to maintain a relaxed awareness. Sometimes we can get caught up in tensing when we're trying to count or do it right. Even right now, you might be mad if I interrupted your counting. Remember, there's always a new beginning in each moment. So we're just using the numbers as a way to help us be more here. As the mind wanders, we just observe it with very gentle and kind and appreciative awareness. It's amazing to have a mind that can think. It's not the enemy. It's the opportunity. Every time we see it wander, we just get to practice bringing it back, training our presence. So for the next minute, you can let go of focusing on the breathing and just contemplate anything you're grateful for in your life right now, in this moment. Could be something you're presently experiencing, or just anything. Could be material items, the people in your life. If you have toilet paper, you could be grateful for toilet paper. Just notice what it's like to shift your awareness to what you have rather than what you don't have. We can all find something we have, even if it's just the breath. And for the last 30 seconds, I invite you to set an intention for today. A certain way of being that you'd like to bring into your day. Quality of focus, presence, gratitude, boundaries, empathy, whatever. And when you're ready, you can start to reorient yourself back into the space. Getting some movement in the body. If you'd like to stretch, you can. And eventually letting the eyes open again. Great job, everyone. The bells are just out of reach, which is why I didn't ring them this morning. I didn't want to get up and disturb you. But the bells will be back tomorrow. I hope you got to experience some help with the counting of the numbers. Sometimes it's not useful for us, so that's okay as well. But if you did find it as a tool, it is something that you can put in your toolkit, your meditation toolkit, that you could bring out in your meditation practice over time. Remember, this 21 days is a bit of a buffet. We're exploring different practices, and you don't need to commit to anything right now. At the end of it, we'll get to explore, and you'll get to assess, all right, what practices spoke most to me? What would I like to continue? And so the numbers is something that you can keep in the back of your mind. If you are a type A personality, sometimes the tendency can be to beat yourself up if you can't get to 10, or like, I'm going to get to 1,000 breaths and I'm going to do it in 2.5 minutes. Just notice that tendency. Remember that the meditation is an opportunity for us to start to soften our conditioning or certain stressful conditioning rather than reinforce that conditioning. And the meditation can easily be used to reinforce a lot of our negative or stressful conditioning. So great. The main thing I just want to keep emphasizing is just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. You can't really evaluate the practice in the moment. You can only look at it over time. And so in the beginning stages, we just have to get our butt on the chair, on the cushion, and just be here and just enter into the space of presence and let it work through us in whatever way it needs to work through us. And it will work through you in the way you need to work through the way you need it to. It's like water. It finds all the cracks, all the areas that have dried up, all the areas that need nourishment. And it's not always enjoyable, but a lot of times it is. A lot of times we do feel that restoration happening in real time. So thank you for your practice. It's great being with you all today. Happy Sunday. at least from the States. And I will see you tomorrow. Tag friends that you think might like this. Continue to share. We're coming up the end of week 1. And so we can get more people involved. And all of these are listed on YouTube. So if you want to watch them again or direct people to them, just search for 21 Days of Meditation, Cory Muscara. You'll see day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And you can share those links as well. All right, everyone. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.